Hey, everybody, this is Jimmy. Welcome to another episode of the Jimmy Tingle Show. This week marks a huge milestone for the show. It is our 1-year anniversary, 44 episodes of the Tingle Show over in 2022. And we've talked to comics, politicians, pundits, authors, actors, nonprofit leaders, and we've loved it. It's been a blast doing it, and we want to make the show better. So I want to know from you, what are we doing well and what could we do better? And what would you like more of? Do you want more comedy, more politics, more authors and writers, more musicians, more politicians, more nonprofit leaders, more fundraising calls to action? What is it that you would like? Would you like more political punditry? Do you want to know how I feel on the social and political issues of the day, more so than I've already offered? Do you want more tingle in the Tingle Show? Do you want more tingle? We can do that, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to know how you feel. There's a contact button right in the show notes. So you can email us directly right in the show notes with that contact button. But also we're asking you, make sure you subscribe to the show and give us a 5-star rating with the Apple Podcast. That'll help us enormously with traction, climbing the podcast ladder in the world of only like a trillion podcasts. We'll be up there to the 1 million mark soon. So anyway, we would love to know more about what you want, and please help us to spread the word. If you like the show, tell your friends, share it with friends. And you can also, as you know, like, subscribe, or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, all the platforms on the quote interwebs in the words of the great John McCain, the interwebs. So thanks a million for joining us all this time, and it's been a blast performing for you and working for you every week, and we want to make the show better. So just let us know how we can do that. And also, if you're interested in any booking information, we do house parties, private parties, fundraisers, Humor for Humanity. Since 2020, since the pandemic, we've raised over $200,000 for nonprofits, charities, social causes, and needy individuals, and we want to do even more. So fill out that booking form if you're interested in a fundraiser, and would love to help you fulfill your mission, because our mission is your mission with Humor for Humanity. So thanks a million. Enjoy the show. And today's episode is a throwback to the early days of 1980 when I was doing street performing in Harvard Square, Cambridge. There weren't always great places to work, but I was so into it. I'd go up to Harvard Square with my harmonica and do a little street performing and just practice. So this is a reenactment of those early days in Boston comedy. Thank you so much for being our friends and our followers and our subscribers to our podcast. And we will see more of you in 2023. When I first started doing stand-up comedy back in the early 1980s, I didn't work beautiful places like this. I did gong shows, open mic nights, talent contests. I actually did street performing when I first started. And I admit, my friends, there is a fine line between street performing and simply being drunk in public. But I love stand-up comedy so much, I'd go up to Harvard Square in the middle of the day. Hey, everybody, my name's Jimmy Tingle. I'm an aspiring comedian. I'd like to try out a few jokes on you. Would that be okay? Yeah? All right, beautiful. I've only been doing comedy a couple of years. Last summer, drove cross country, broke a few rules driving. Next thing I know, big sheriff pulls us over. What's the story, pal? Why'd you just run that red light? Honestly, I didn't see you, Sheriff. What are you, a wise guy? You got a license? Well, of course I have a license. I show him the license. He looks at the license, looks at me. Looks at the license, looks at me. This doesn't look like you. Well, let me see that. You're right, it's not me. You got the wrong guy. They love that in the Midwest. A couple of years ago, I actually performed in Europe, just like to say, excellent country. You know what's nice about being in Cambridge? You actually get that joke. I've been trying to get in shape. My friends say, you want to get in shape, man? Just lift weights, lift weights. I'm saying lift weights. What for? Those things are heavy. People would tell me to jog. Get out there and jog, Jimmy. Jog, jog, jog. If you can jog 1 mile, you could jog the Boston Marathon. Calm down. I can't drive 26 miles without pulling over to take a leak. I read an article in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago about beer. It said that beer was actually considered a food. I was psyched. For years, people thought I was an alcoholic. Calm down. I'm hungry. And in the middle of my set, this woman comes up to me. She says, young man, I think what you do out here in Harvard Square is very interesting, talking to total strangers like this, but I do not think you should subject everybody to it. And she was absolutely correct. Okay, miss, I got one more joke, and then I'm out of here. I was thinking about doing a triathlon. Then they told me what it was. I guess what you're going to do is you're going to swim 2 miles, then ride your bike to Maine. I guess then you run home. I was thinking about it. I said, I'll try my own triathlon, the Jimmy Tingle triathlon. Now what you do here is you take a cab to Fenway Park. You sit in the bleachers, you eat or drink whatever you want. You root for the other team. Then you run home.